So here we are with Season 2, Episode 3 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Last episode, Bow and Glimmer went on a rescue mission for Entrapta, only to find out that Entrapta has just been enjoying her life, pursuing her passion, and the study of science and everything. So, and I believe Adora is now going to get the news this episode, so we will just have to see what's going to happen. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access in the YouTube memberships. Other than that, let us get started.
She got closer to combining them than anyone else. Now she's with the Horde.
Yep.
Well, who needs Entrapta?
We do.
I don't care if they do have Entrapta's inventions. They're no match for us.
The fuck are you talking about? They froze the damn forest. She literally hacked the planet. Can you guys do that? I was gonna say the wind calls to her. Could just be the Whispering Woods. It's under the table. Oh, dude, the...
Emily, hand me a six-sided hex driver.
Emily's trying her best.
Lord Hordak, I just thought we should,
Well, she's got a little... It's like touching her tie, you know?
So I'm to understand you disturbed for no reason.
So what is this? Part of the plan. The... It's just... Oh my god, like he just removed the atmosphere? Yeah, useless. Uh-oh. Gotta get back on his good grace.
You say you can defeat the rebellion. Prove it. You are dismissed.
Dude, Lord Hordak gives a lot of fucking chances. Useless.
I've updated my tracker pad to detect Horde signals. If they're here, we'll find them with this.
Or maybe they'll find us instead.
It's okay. Whatever's going on here, we'll solve it. Nothing gets past us.
Oh no, here comes the wind again.
It's about Owen being haunted. Haunted? Like with ghosts? It's just stories. And even if it wasn't, we'd handle them.
How can you handle ghosts? You can't touch them.
Someone's here. I'm sure of it. We have to find them.
Damn, look at Swiftwind taking charge. Oh my god! It's a ghost!
They move on Erlandia.
Erlandia?
Yeah. Small problem. The 3rd Battalion is refusing to fight to put in...
A request for armor?
6 requests for resupply.
6 requests for resupplies.
Not that anybody seems to care. I care.
Oh.
Fine, give them the armor. But the armory is out of armor. So have them make more. Just gotta find that file.
Just gotta find that file. Oh my god, the Scorpia is just... It's slippery.
When all I do is this stupid busy work. I bet Shadow Weaver didn't have to deal with any of this.
She did.
These are her files, so she probably
Yeah.
did.
Welcome to fucking corporate.
The ducks are faster, and I don't have time to waste. I need a 6-sided hex driver right now. Make do with what you have. Oh, of course I could, but it's the principle. Always use the proper
It's the prince. Yeah, she could have just like twisted.
I saw one in Hordak's lab.
It's just...
I know you're new to the freight zone.
Uh-oh.
Under no circumstances will you go anywhere near Hordak's sanctum.
Alright,
He calls his
I'll go in it when he's not there.
I need you to promise that you will stay away from Hordak. Promise. Okay, I promise.
What if I accidentally fall into his lap?
Make more armor because they
Iridium.
Irideli. The point is, they're out of the shiny stuff that they need to make armor.
And where do they need to...
Get more. But keep an eye on Entrapta and make sure she doesn't go anywhere near.
Yeah, good luck with that. She's probably already gone.
I won't let her out of my sight.
Oh no!
I'll wait out here in case anyone tries to sneak up on you.
Oh, now he...
This door is too small for horses.
We need horse-friendly doors, dude. Oh my god, they left in the middle of dinner, or breakfast, or lunch.
Whoever lives here left in a hurry, but it was a
Oh my god, it's like the beginning of Mass Effect 2.
No sign of a struggle at
Oh
all.
my god.
Left.
This is just like the story of the headless princess.
The headless princess, not the weeping prince. It's a different one. I guess they are all stories about princesses. Oh, just a little creepy doll behind her.
Does that look familiar to you?
I'm not sure.
It's the first one's tech. Been a lot of loud noises.
Glimmer? I'm so sorry. I have no idea why I did that. This place is weird.
Another one. It's
The Horde really had a theme, huh?
exactly. Gotta scare the princesses.
Wow. I can't believe I'm just realizing this. Ethical dilemma number 63.
Ethical dilemma 63. Uh-huh.
He never finds out. Does it count?
Exactly. I like that animation. Wow.
I would know. I shouldn't do it. Or should I?
What if you go in there and then you wipe your own memory so then you don't even know she's there? There it is. Oh. Oh, he's so angry.
What if I had given up on you after the first explosion?
Or the 50.
I know,
Determination, dude.
but I have to say.
She's gonna fix it for him. Y'all see that?
I don't hear anything. It's probably just the wind.
What if the wind is the ghost? Oh, she's plugging new wires and everything. Oh.
Hello. You're blocking my light. If you could just step aside. Well, just a sec. All done. Okay. Bye.
There will be dire
Cause
consequences for this.
hold on, maybe you should try it first. Oh. What is this thing that he's...
Right.
Of course I was right.
She's back.
You're experimenting with portals? But that's, I mean, I'm familiar with the concept, but
I was thinking, like, did he come from a different place?
no one's ever come close to actually achieving one.
Right?
Obviously, some water planet such as
Yeah, because he keeps saying backwater planet.
I'm the one who got your power source working, so tell me everything.
portals aren't theoretical. They're real, and I'm going to open one.
Can I help you? Just think of the possibilities.
You think too small. Unsurprising.
Yeah, he's planning on going to somewhere else.
This is Syria,
Hmm.
backwater planet.
There are countless galaxies filled with countless other worlds. Etheria is the only planet I've ever encountered that does not seem to understand that.
Other planet?
Damn, really blowing her mind right now.
And without the armor, I can't attack Irlandia. You're trying to sabotage me. Where's the missing file?
No, you're probably just missing it somewhere.
From the foundry, right here
I like that she repaired her mask. Or it's just, they just super glued it.
Being me isn't quite what you imagined, is it?
Oh.
You thought Hordak
He does. I can do what I want.
he'll never trust you with his...
Real plans. Which is what,
He never did with me.
but then Entrapta is.
The light came from around here.
Was that the statue thing again? It kind of looked like it.
It's over.
Where'd it go? Did I get it?
Oh my god! They're waving high at us! Ah!
I can handle the horse. I can't handle this. This is like telling ghost stories. I've been terrified since we got here. Catra was right.
And I can't replace Entrapta. I can't even make my trap.
They're so...
Stuff coming from the big stone pointing from the pointy. Hold on.
Yes. Look at him, waving at us, menacingly! It's all just a hologram. Oh, she powered it up.
Like a
Courting.
Anyway, I found the file, and guess what? The material is produced right here in the freight zone. Beautiful and brilliant.
Wow.
You're supposed to be watching her.
But she got all these files!
I don't know where she is, truthfully, but I'm gonna fix that because that's just the kind of friend I am. So, you're welcome. I'm sorry, Lord Hordak. Entrapta is still new here. I promise she will never bother you.
Nah.
Other one
Bothering me.
I am working with Entrapta's assistance.
Ho-ho!
Did you hear that, Emily? I've never had a lab partner before.
Get out!
So, who's our first one?
Damn, these roots are just so easily removable. They're just humans. You know, not humans, but, you know, they're regular people, yeah.
Now that the antenna is powered down, everything should be back to normal.
Ah!
It's that message again. It looks like first one.
I'll give it to Adora.
First one's writing, I can't read it.
Too degraded.
You said it yourself, Bo. Your pad must be broken.
No?
Yeah, that must be it.
No? Is this out in the desert? Is another first one tech? Or is this... Oh, there it is, the same one, but not as degraded? I would presume. I assume that's like a spaceship from what it looks like, from like the inside and all that. Okay. Alright. So, I would presume Lord Hordak, as he says, right, he has gone to multiple worlds, but like, but then he's over here complaining about being in this backwater planet. But like, if he's so fucking upset that this place sucks, you know, like, why isn't he leaving? So I assume that one of the things that he wants to do is to build the portal so he can get the fuck out of here. But also, you know, he wants to conquer the planet at the same time, you know? It's just that. But alright, well, I guess I will probably write some notes, and I will be right back to the center. Okay, there's just something funny about this, because I was talking about, like, when Catra is just seeing all these fucking files, and she's just like, oh, I bet Shadow Weaver never had to do these files. And it's like, no, Shadow Weaver was actually doing these files, and she's just so fucking tired of all these, like, paperwork shit, right? Like, busy work, as she says. But then she's also, like, the one who comes in to Lord Hordak to be like, can we establish, like, a daily meeting or something? And Hordak is just like, no, dog, send that shit to email. I don't want to have a fucking daily meeting. So with this part where Catra is so worried about what Hordak thinks of her, that when she hears that Entrapta plans to go into Hordak's lab to grab a screwdriver, right? She grabs her and she's just like, hey, don't fucking do this, alright? Right? Just yelling at her. Not particularly threatening her with words, just more of a, you know, fucking grabbing her by her, I was gonna say her collar, it's not her collar, but honestly, that thing is skin tight. I don't know how Catra managed to fucking grab it without just grabbing her neck too. But the way that Catra does this, right, it's very much of how Shadow Weaver is, and it continues to go into the idea that because Catra has grown up with Shadow Weaver, and despite her not liking Shadow Weaver, she still adopts parts of Shadow Weaver within her, and you can really see that part just coming out there. But also, if you go and do this sort of tactic for kids and whatnot, right? I mean, you can kind of already see that with Catra in the way that you're not exactly teaching them to not go in there, right? It, like, Catra doing this whole, like, ooh, you better not fucking go in there, Hordak won't like it, like, that whole business doesn't really affect her, but also, like, I generally feel it doesn't really affect too much kids, just because, not too much, it affects them in different ways, right? The fact that they're not gonna learn that they shouldn't do it, it's more that they're gonna learn that they shouldn't do it around you, and that's exactly what Entrapta was doing, right? After this scene, she leaves, and she's just like, Catra did say that I shouldn't go in there, but, like, if she doesn't know, does that really matter? Alright, so that was Season 2, Episode 3 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty nice episode. We kind of put Adora and the group a little bit more on the back burner. They were kind of like the B-side story, and we had much more focus on Hordak himself, actually, and also, you know, we get to see Catra experiencing the downtime now that she's finally, now that this fucking high that she's gotten for, like, the past 4 or 5 episodes, you know, it's all finally died down, and now here we are, the nitty-gritty paperwork. But I do want to talk about the B-side plot first, which is Adora, Glimmer, and Bo going to Alwyn, and they thought that they were seeing ghosts, but these are actually just holograms from the first ones. These are like the messages that the first ones wanted to send to their loved ones, and we've got a bit of an inner turmoil, just a little bit, but they kind of fixed it towards the end, kind of like with Bo feeling like he won't be able to take over what Entrapta left behind, and Glimmer feeling like Catra was right and that, you know, maybe she's just not up for it and whatnot. But then that kind of just gets resolved once they figure out the problem. And yeah, like this whole B-side plot with like with them being here in this haunted place and everything, and then just constant boom, like loud noises, and then they're just getting scared, and I'm just over like, cool, you know, great. Like I genuinely felt like, other than some of the small minor points that I just make mention on their, like, how their character and how they feel, you know, just a little insecure about what had happened, especially with like Entrapta and all that. And then what goes on towards like the final of this scene, when they finally figure out that it's the antenna that does everything, and Adora touches it, or She-Ra touches it, and this creates this garbled signal that, hold on, let's see. Well, he was trying to send messages to the farmer, but then he gets this garbled message that even Adora can't read because it's garbled. But it shows us this place, which I would assume is a spaceship, and inside is the message. I would assume maybe this is like the thing that Adora was on, because she was on another planet. Was that it is? Because like, she was seeing visions, right, all the way in like the beginning. Again, like the first episode of season 1 is all blurry to me, but I think that's somewhere around there. It might be like the spaceship that she came on, but I don't know what it's there for. So we'll just have to figure it out when it comes into play. And then we've got Hordak, who we have learned that he isn't from Etheria, and that he considers Etheria to be a backwater planet, which I was thinking about how, like, I guess because it's a backwater, he considers it a backwater planet because they don't even know that there are other planets outside, right? When he was telling that to Entrapta, Entrapta's just like, whoa, there are other planets, and like, we can go there? Oh my god. Big fucking blowing her mind right there, you know? But he plans to open a portal. He wants to open a portal, and I would presume that this is the secret plan that not even Shadow Weaver had the privilege to privy. My only assumption is that he wants to open up the portal in another planet, perhaps a planet that he has already taken over. I initially thought that maybe he's stuck in Etheria, right? Something happened and then he got stuck here, and that's why he's just like, this fucking sucks. And so he's trying to take over. Or maybe he is just trying to take over his planet. He has taken over other planets before, and he wants to open up a portal so then he can get his other supplies from the other planets that he's taken over. You know, either that, or again, he just wants to figure out a play to get the fuck out of here. Which also kind of makes sense on why, if he could just open up a portal and go somewhere else, it definitely makes sense why he would, like, want his plans of, like, the Horde taking over everything and covering the place in darkness, because he doesn't have to deal with the consequences, right? He can just take over, he do whatever he want, and then he opens up the portal and he goes off on his next conquest. We also had this part where Lord Hordak had mentioned that Etheria's atmosphere has proven to be a complicating variable in his experiments. And I wonder, like, is Etheria's atmosphere, because, like, it's a little bit more magical or something, that's causing a bit of a problem in his experiments, but also, is that also one of the reasons why he can't open a portal? Or, well, he says his experiments, so like there's multiple stuff that he's working on besides the portal, so I don't know, maybe he's just doing something else. But he did open this up and he's just kind of like, I've removed that variable, right? So he just removed the atmosphere. And so Catra has a hard time breathing, and Lord Hordak is just over here like, psh, pathetic! Can't even breathe properly without an atmosphere? Get on my level! Once you have these iron lungs, you can breathe out in space. Get dunked on, Catra. You know what? I suppose this episode could be considered Catra getting dunked on. For Scorpia, my only notes that I wrote is Scorpia's trying her best. I mean, she really is trying her best. She's got all these files, and she's got fucking, well, she's a scorpion, but I was gonna say lobster claws, whatever, right? She got claws. It's really hard for her to go through fucking files. Like, why of all people is she doing the filings? Why is she doing the paperwork? But hey, again, she's trying her best. But I don't remember if I've said this before, but the way that Scorpia acts, right? Her personality would much more mesh with the princesses, but the reason why Scorpia's family ended up turning to the Horde is because the princesses and just, you know, the people in general saw them as like these big terrifying scorpions, so they don't really want to they don't want to hang out with them, right? They don't want to have to do any business with them, so they essentially, the only people who accepted them was the Horde, so they just went on over. It gives more nuances, right, to the world, in that even if Lord Hordak wasn't here to cause all this fucking problems, there would have been already problems. I would assume the problem between Scorpia's family and like every other princesses perpetuated even before Lord Hordak came. I don't know, who knows? But both sides sort of have their own biases, right? In the way that the Horde trains the kids to have all these nightmares about princesses, or telling them that princesses are these scary people who will just murk you if you just give them the chance. So, you know, you gotta shoot first, ask questions later. And throughout like the whole B story plot thing too, right? With the way that Adora talks about all these princess stories. And then I think it was Glimmer? I think it was either, whatever, Glimmerable, who's just like, wow, undead princess? The Horde's got a theme over there. And Adora's just like, wow, I never really realized. So it's kind of like that, right? With the Horde brainwashing their kids into believing that the princesses are demons and all that. The princesses on you know, the quote-unquote good side, they see Scorpion. They just assume that she's a bad person just because she looks scary and all that, right? She doesn't look, I don't know, as fucking colorful as everybody else. Even though technically Scorpia is quite colorful. I genuinely felt a little bit sad for Scorpia when Catra's over here talking about like, oh, I've been a little busy almost toppling Bright Moon and coming closer than anyone to conquering the planet. Not that anybody seems to care. And then Scorpia responds with, I care. And then Catra just looks at her like, ugh, fine, give them the armor. But at the same time, it's a little bit dismissive, and, you know, and that's why I kind of go back to, like, how Scorpia would much more fit in with the princess in terms of her personality and everything. And she's trying to do that for Catra, but Catra has not experienced that sort of life before, of somebody who actually is nice and caring for her, and she's just like, whatever, bro. Get out of here. I also wrote a quote here where I believe Scorpia was going to Catra, and you know, Catra already learned the information from Shadow Weaver, so then she just goes and finishes Scorpia's sentences. So Scorpia says, beautiful and brilliant. God, dude, compliments for days. We also see yet another scene of Catra going to Shadow Weaver, which again, you know, very funny. Like, she keeps going back to Shadow Weaver. Essentially, she's kind of going back to either gloat or just, you know, just to throw stones at her just to make her feel a little bit better, because I assume that's what Shadow Weaver does. But then here, she kind of comes back seemingly asking for advice, but not putting it like for advice, right? She still puts it more of a like, hey, you did this to sabotage me. Again, it's just her feeling like she has to go back to Shadow Weaver just to talk about all these stuff. And Shadow Weaver has just been squinting. Every time we see her sitting in this jail, she's just over here like, like she's got something up her sleeves. But I also wonder if like she just knows that eventually Catra will just come back to her. Kind of like here in the situation where she says, oh, I suppose my position isn't what you thought it would be, right? It's all this fucking paperwork, and then basically getting fucking yelled at by Hordak about how useless you are when you fucking fail. Right? I can't remember. I think I said it right. This is Catra's downtime, right? Now that she's off of the high, off of the being able to hack the planet and stopping the Whispering Woods from growing and being able to almost take over Bright Moon, right? She was very much on that fucking high. It's like, yo, this is great. I'm doing shit on my own right now. But then once that's over, and that's what Hordak says, like, you squandered your chances while the Whispering Wood was regrowing. And then you got yourself captured, like, WTF. And we can see the way that Catra acts around Hordak, right? Very intimidated, a little scared. I actually have not looked at her tails yet. Her tails? Her tail. One tail. I think her tails are much more drooped down when she's around Lord Hordak. Hold on. No, it's not, actually. It's still relatively lifted. Yeah, no, I think her tails are relatively, is relative. Why do I keep saying tails? She does not have multiple tails. Her one tail is fine. And with Catra feeling a little frustrated, perhaps just a little scared in knowing that she could lose her position if Lord Hordak just decided that you are now entirely useless to me, right? Get the fuck out of here. In comes Entrapta, who is continuing to do things on her own ways, and the thing that got Entrapta to go into Lord Hordak's lab is because she needed a screwdriver, and, you know, it's the principle of things. She could have just twisted that little screw right back in there, but she needs the screwdriver. So she ends up going into Hordak's lab despite Catra telling her not to. And of course, once she gets into the lab, she sees that Lord Hordak is working on something, and seeing that he failed, you know, he's all angry and stuff, and she's just like, come on now. If it's a failure, you just gotta keep at it. She's over here very determined and very diligent, and she's just not scared of Hordak at all. She does not give a single shit about, like, titles and positions, right? All she knows is that, hey, you're working on something scientific, and I want to be a part of it, so I'm gonna fucking get in, right? Really, really out here giving him unsolicited help. You know, I'm just thinking about how tall Lord Hordak is. My god. Entrapta is standing, isn't she? Yeah, she is standing. And then Lord Hordak just fucking walks on over, and like she's like up to his stomach. Like, damn, he's a tall man. But I do wonder, like, even though Hordak is like upset that she's in his lab and all that, doing all this mumbo jumbo, but then he sees like her potential, so like he allows her to help in his project. It also makes me wonder, because he's just kind of like, oh, this planet is such a fucking backwater place, right? Everybody here is not as smart as I am. Now he gets like a one-on-one at Entrapta, and he sees that, you know, she's able to do all these things, even if she's from from this backwater planet. And we know that Bo mentions about Entrapta and how she's like the only person who was able to combine both magic and technology. So, you know, Entrapta's only problem is that she's apparently living in a backwater planet. You know, if she was in other more advanced planets or whatever, maybe she could take her achievements even higher. I don't know what the even higher part is. Blow up a planet's core or something. Towards the end, we had Catra coming into Hordak's lab to apologize that Entrapta is in here, but Hordak is upset that she's the one who's coming into bothering him, right? Because he's working with Entrapta's assistant. With Entrapta's assistant now. I will say, Emily's got a lot of personality. I would assume she's just been upgraded more and more. You know, like kind of like the way when Entrapta was going in sneaking to the lab, and she like lifts her head up, and Emily's just like, all right, but come on, put your head back down. with the learning that that Entrapta is now on Hordax's good graces, while Catra isn't on his good graces anymore, and then learning from Shadow Weaver that, yeah, he actually doesn't trust you, because he hasn't even told you about his actual plans, and like, and Shadow Weaver's like, don't get mad, like, I don't even know what his plans is either. But now, here is Entrapta, assumingly working on his secret plans, right? He has allowed her to come into this, right, with a sense of trust that she's going to, she's going to help him carry this plan through. And so it makes me have a question of how will Catra feel about Entrapta now, knowing that, you know what? It just clicked in my head. I wonder if, like, Catra would start to feel like Entrapta is a threat, and then maybe she'll be like, hey, Entrapta, would you like to go back to the princesses? Alright, shoo, Entrapta, get out of here, you know? Like, if she can't beat Entrapta, especially in terms of, like, getting Hordax's good graces, again, might as well just fucking get rid of her. And again, I wonder if that will be the case, or this will make Catra go back to Shadow Weaver, which, again, I assume Shadow Weaver is assuming that Catra will come back to her for help eventually, just because I know you're useless. Useless. If I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.